Ready? Here we go. All right. Say you have a family member and they're in dire need of living, and none of their immediate family has an organ for you to have, and none of them are an organ donor. And if you sign the list, it may take a while for you to get on the list. What are you going to be able to do with that? And they may die within that time being of when you get that organ. And so it may be tough for you to live past that. So that's why it's a really important thing nowadays to become an organ donor, because of how it's been going and how people have been living past that. The shortage of organ donors. Each day, about 79 people receive organ donors, but 22 die. So in that, somebody's added every 10 minutes to the list. In 2014, 29,532 people received an organ transplant. And then some revealing facts of that are less than 1-year-olds organ donors. There was 261 were deceased and 19 were living. People that actually received organs of that age. 1 to 5-year-olds, there was 417 people were deceased and 86 were living. 6 to 10-year-olds, they received 226 from deceased people and 58 from living people. 11 to 17-year-olds, it was 594 living people and 594 deceased, 134 living. And then from 18 to 34-year-olds, they received 2,087 from deceased people and 1,061 from living people. And then 35 to 49 was 4,700 from deceased and 1,627 from the living. And then patients living 5 years after, like they were still alive. Patients who live 5 years from people who they received it from a deceased patient, they live with their kidney. They live for 83.4% of the people. Actually live past the 5 years of deceased people, and then 92% for the kidneys of living people. For the heart, it was 76.8%. The liver from deceased people was 75%, and liver from the living people were 82%, and lungs were 55%. And patients register in multiple places, and the candidates dwarf the actual people of getting the organs, because a lot of people are organ donors on different websites, and it makes it harder for people to get them because people are registered on different places. And you can be an organ donor for the eye, tissue, and an organ donor. And let's see, how to become one. Anyone can become an organ donor. There's no age limits. You do not have to be a citizen of the United States to donate or receive one. Even with previous conditions, even with previous medical conditions, you can still donate. You can register with your state donor registry, or you can designate it on your driver's license, or you can talk to your family about it because to become one, because you have to have somebody present for you to sign on a signed consent form. And you can go to the people of the Organ Procurement Organization, the OPO, to get your further information from that. And you can donate organs, which are heart, kidneys, pancreas, lungs, and liver and intestines. You can do tissues, which is the cornea, skin, heart valves, blood and bone vessels, and connective tissue. And then you can do bone marrow or stem cells, umbilical cords, peripherals, and blood stem cells. And when you have the surgery, there's no disfigurement of the body once you do it, because they do a surgery nuts where you're not in, and so you can have an open casket basically at your funerals, so you're not looking all like cut open and stuff like that, where people can still see you. And then, according to WebMD, the pros for it were saving another one's life, and it could be for your significant families, or it can be for complete strangers, so they can take as many of them out of you that you match to other people. The cons of it is organ donation is a major surgery. It can make infections, bleeding, blood clots, allergic reaction, or damage to nearby tissues. Also, because it is such a serious procedure for the patient to have, pain and discomfort of the surgery may have visible scars from it. Make sure you ask the right amount or a lot of questions to your surgeon or whoever's going to be doing this, because it's a thorough process and it's your decision. Do not be pressured by anybody else to become an organ donor just because of their decisions or their problems. They wanted you to be an organ donor. And then the IO9 the websites for talking about their benefits, it goes estimated 35% of all U.S. deaths could have been prevented or delayed by organ transplants. 95% of Americans say they support them, but only 40% of them are actual organ donors. And talking about later on, they got to use regenerative medicines to genetically engineer specific organs for that person to help regenerate, replace, and restore all the problems that they had. They can also take stem cells of the patient's cells and help regrow it from there. So they're doing a lot of technical advances for this. Another way is the 3D bioprinting of the cell itself. It exposes an ink by ink layer constructed vertically that gives the physical conditions of the patient. And then according to NCBI, it says alternative systems is donating a benefit organ system. One of them is the offset of funeral expenses for the organ donor patient, and it could help pay for the problems that they have for those people. And then the higher priority of the access is the list, or higher gives more money for people who don't have money at all, or anything like that. And hopefully it increases the frequency of which people want to donate, because they'll be taking care of them and their families the rest of their life, so they'll be able to get money. But the concerns it has, it would be unclear if it would increase or decrease the list, and people would lie about their medical conditions to get an organ donation because for the money process that they have. And so that's my speech on it, and hopefully we can take care of this, because this is a pretty big problem in the United States, and one day it may affect you and your immediate family.